Hey team, Ray here and here for MotoNZ.com. Hope you're doing all right. Hey, when it comes to smartphones, they're quite expensive, right? You don't really want to be replacing them every 5 minutes. So when they go on the handlebars of your bike, you want to know that they're secure, especially if you're an adventure rider and you're going off-road. That thing's going to rattle around like crazy. One company that has done a great job, they've just innovated again. Let me show you. Smartphones. You don't want to be replacing them all the time. You want to know that they're going to be on your bars, safe and secure. One company that's been doing a great job of innovating is Quadlock. Let me show you. So Quadlock, you've probably seen this little device on people's handlebars before. You might have one on yours. They started with this mount and this locking system. There's a socket on the back of the phone. It goes on the mount. It clips on there nice and secure and it's not coming off. Just like that. Or like that. It's pretty solid. I've had one on my bikes for probably the last 80,000, 90,000 kilometers. All terrains, never had an issue. Then, on top of the mount, they innovated with this vibration dampener. The vibration dampener, when we come to like iPhone 12 and that sort of thing, they get a bit fragile, and you can easily, with the vibrations of the bike, break the sensors in them that deals with the camera and focusing. So the vibration dampener sucks up all those vibrations. I've had my iPhone 13 mini on the bars for at least 30,000 kilometers, no dramas. That was all well and good. Then they innovated again with the waterproof wireless charging head. You run a USB into this thing charges your phone while you're riding. No longer do you have to run cables all over the dash of your bike. Let me show you on the Tenere 700. I've got the waterproof wireless charging head up here on the instrument cluster, on the navigation tower. Put it on there and it charges. You can run your battery flat doing that though, because I was running it off the auxiliary power just down here. So they innovated again. And they released a smart power cable. I can't show you because the seat's on the bike, but essentially a couple of power leads off the battery into a module that reads the charge of your battery. If it goes below 12.5 volts, it turns it off. As long as it's above 12.5 volts, it's delivering power to the charging head. How awesome is that? They've innovated again. Not only do they have, this is actually using the mirror stem mount over here. Mirror stem, because this bit of bar is narrow, it's about the same as a mirror stem. So it's a scooter mirror stem mount up here, and you can get fat bar mounts here, you can get steering stem mounts. But for those people who run a clean bar, or maybe you don't have any room on your bars, maybe you're like on an R1 or an R7 and you don't have traditional bars, what do you run? You could run the steering stem mount that goes in the steering stem hole there, or you could run one of the new devices, one of the new mounts from Quadlock. We've got a brake reservoir mount and a clutch brake mount that goes on the clutch perch. So it's a little bar, 2 bolts in it, goes in here and here, and the Quadlock sits here. Or the brake reservoir mount, 2 bolts on top of your brake reservoir here, and it goes on there. How cool is that? You got to hand it to Quadlock. They are thinking of everything. And just so you know what that's the back of the case. That's what do you call it? MagSafe. So they also do a desktop charging mount. It doesn't have this locking mechanism. It can be a little bit fiddly sometimes to get it on there. It doesn't have the locking mechanism. It's just a stand that you put your phone on. They also do car mounts. So they're really thinking outside the box and catering for pretty much everyone. There's stuff that goes on your push bike even. So let's chuck one of these on the Moto Morini and see how easy it is. Rightio, we're going to do the clutch or brake mount, the clutch perch mount first. Full disclosure, by the way, they sent me this stuff for free. They don't see this video before it goes live. They don't have any say over it. And I didn't pay for it. But I have paid for Quadlock stuff before because I really like it. Much the same way as everything else that I show you. If I don't use it myself and I don't like it, I'm not going to show you or tell you about it. Right, we've got some mounting bolts and hardware here. And this is the mount itself. So we've got the Quadlock head that we can put the vibration dampener on, and we've got a metal bar to go on there. I think it's going to bolt up quite nicely there, and then we've got control over the exact angle of the mount for the phone. So we'll start by loosening the bolts on the perch. Right, 1 bolt, 2 bolts, and that's the mirror off. So the mounting hardware we are given, 2 of the bolts have these metal collars. So what we'll do is mount the bolt through the Quadlock mount with the metal collar on the back, and then into the mirror. Was it that way? Yeah, it was that way. And then into, right, that'll all hold together for now. I'll just need to grab a socket. And these are 10 mils, by the way. Bolt, collar, hole. Insert joke here about finding the hole. Is that still? Yep, that's where I want it. Brilliant, that works. We need to put the vibration dampener on here actually first. This is the vibration dampener. Really simple. The other cool thing about all the Quadlock stuff, I don't need that anymore. It's not only does it come with the vibration dampener, it comes with the Allen key that you need to install it. Nice and simple to get this on. The bolt in the middle of here. Take that off. Screw in the vibration dampener. Right, that's on. Then we just put this back on here. And this is when you get to choose where your lever tab is going to go. Okay, that's all done. Now, that's all together. I just have to decide what angle I want my phone to sit at. If that's my bars straight, I kind of want it facing me. So I'm picking about there is good. That's tightening up. There we go. Now what I have found with all new Quadlocks, until they get broken in, so to speak, is they're quite hard to get your phone onto. So let's see what this one's like. There we go. Nice click into place. That vibration dampener makes it a little bit floppy, but that's how you know it's working. Sounds counterintuitive, but that's what's soaking up the vibrations and stopping your battery, your camera module from dying. So there's my phone mounted to the bars. So there you go. That's my normal Quadlock mount that I've been using forever with vibration dampener. This is where I have put the clutch or brake perch mount. And it's quite nice. It's very solid. It's not going anywhere, and I quite like that. Next up, I guess, we need to put the waterproof charging head on, and that's just as easy. That's 1 bolt, and then you have to run the cables. I'm not going to do that on this bike because, you know, it's not my bike, but that's what I'd be doing next. Conversely, if you want to go the complete opposite direction and you don't want clutter on your bars, check this out. This is Beeline. So this connects to your phone via an app. When you decide where you want to go on the app and you can do all the planning of your route on the app, you hit go and it gives you turn-by-turn navigation on this little hockey puck screen here. Very understated, very small on your bars, and I've done a few trips on that. It also tracks where you go, so if you go on a big ride and you want to show your mates later on, or you found something cool, a cool road, it'll track it and you can upload it to social media. So there you go, there's a few different ways to attach Quadlock to your bars and sort out some navigation. I guess the other thing you want to see is the brake reservoir mount, eh? Should we check that out too? Why not? Alrighty, brake reservoir mount. Let's have a look. I don't think I've ever managed to open one of these boxes without destroying the lid of it. But it's not like we're keeping it, right? Alright, there's some mounting hardware. And the kit itself. So we've got our standard Quadlock head. We've got a loosening nut to move it and adjust it, and yeah, we're going to have to get into that first. There we go. So we've got a little bit of movement in there, and then that slides across on the rails. You got one bolt through there, one bolt through there, on top of your brake reservoir. Hey, that's really nice. I like that. Although the bolts don't line up. Ah, they're adjustable. Hey, so there we go. So they're on a slider. They're a double rail system. See, for any sized brake reservoir. That's smart, guys. That's real smart. I like what you've done there. All right. Need a Phillips head screwdriver. Anyone else with kids will know the situation I'm in right now. My boy has been in my toolbox, and all my nice Phillips head screwdrivers are missing. You probably want to be a little bit careful here opening up your brake reservoir. One, you don't want to get brake fluid on anything because it's very, very corrosive. It'll take the paint off. The other thing is you don't want to get anything in your brake reservoir. Luckily, we don't actually need to open the reservoir itself. Again, the kit comes with, if I can get it out, oh, a double-ended Allen key. Look at that. And some bolts. So this one's a little bit more of a fiddly install. Adjust for length. Nice and tight, nice one. Then our Allen key. Now I guess you could have your phone down like that. You could have it that way, although that doesn't twist. Alrighty, now we've got adjustment on this section. We've got adjustment on this section. We decide where we want it. Unfortunately, on the Motorini, I've got the mirror stem in the way. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world. I'd go for bar-end mirrors myself. But I guess we have it on an angle like that. Tilt it down so we can see. There we go. And just the same as the previous one, take that bolt out, put the vibration dampener on, put the bolt back in, head back on. Or if you're using the wireless charging head, then chuck that on there and run the cables. Simple as. Let's put the phone on and see what it looks like. There you go. Phone on bars. Two solutions from Quadlock to go along with the myriad of other solutions that they have, and I think these are awesome. I like that they're thinking outside the box. For the people who don't have room on their bars or don't have bars themselves, obviously I've got heaps of room on the Motorini's bars, mounts like this on the brake reservoir, clutch perch, they would work on the Tenere 700 as well. I know on the MT07 I was struggling for room on the bars, especially when I got heated grips. So I had my heated grips here. Where else do you put anything? You can't put anything around the brake reservoir here. So put your mount up there. Perfect. Great job, Quadlock. So there you go. As I say, I've done like 80,000-90,000 Ks of hard gravel on the Tenere 700, on other bikes using Quadlock. I've never had a phone fall off the Quadlock. And in my view, if you're going to spend, you know, $1,200-$1,400 on a smartphone, you want it to be looked after. I don't like the idea of putting it on a mount with some rubber bands holding it on, which is essentially what some other manufacturers do. So I wholeheartedly agree with Quadlock. I think they're doing a great job. And if you're looking for a solution to put your phone on your bars and maybe use navigation or anything like that, Quadlock is the way to go. Links in the description below. Thank you very much, Quadlock, for sending me the stuff. Love it. I think there's a solution there for almost anyone. In fact, I think there is a solution there for everyone now. Well done. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you've got any questions or comments, chuck them in the box below. Check out MotoNZ.com. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Hooroo!